you are doing all this. Why? Because in this world, people are very self-centered. People want to do for themselves or for their families or for their friends, a little bit about the community. But according to me, your journey is for the people, and it will be for the people. Then what do you want for yourself? Like, what kind of success you want for yourself?
I see. I again reimagine success. Success is not something stereotypical definition of achieving or accomplishing something. It's a constant process. I consider as a process success also, because social practice teaches that it's a process over product. And why I'm doing all these projects? Yes, there is a reason. You know, in the process of serving others, you nurture yourself. Your whether it's a spirituality or your self growth. Because if you think maybe self-centric, as you use the word, where individual is the centric, everything goes around individual. But I see differently. That's what I'm saying. All the time I bring a different perspective to my practice. What if I share my time and energy, knowledge? If I have some savings, I can share everything. So it's not something you're giving, it's you're in the process of you serving others. It also nurturing your own, growth, self, So that's how I see the spirituality. If you ask me, what is spirituality? And I'm very, critical about my creative practices, how serving others is not just only serving others. I'm always, see that how my time and energy, knowledge can change, positive change in the society. And also thinking about multicultural, how different cultures can connect each other, how they can see through their worlds and embrace the difference. And at the same time, it gives a sense of we all interconnected of all beings. That's how my concept, that reimagining Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, is where I want to share everything. That's how I kept the order. Like, I want to first give time, that is over everything, and energy and the knowledge. Then in the end I kept money. So that's how I'm doing whatever I have. People are there are some proverbs we always hear. Don't think about what you don't have, think about what you have, what you can do with out of that. So right now I'm thinking very simple. I don't think so complex. I have some time, whatever I have time. I have some energy, I have some knowledge, and I have some savings. How I can share this? So probably I'm doing the same thing. I'm sharing everything what I have. I'm sharing my knowledge and my time, energy with building SN Foundation and doing chai stories. So this is one of my aim, to share what I have constantly. And success is not something big thing, but my success in the process, it always raises question. Actually, who gets success, who doesn't, and how this success is possible under social and cultural constraints. And there are some guided principles I have for the reimagining Vasudhaiva Kutumbaka. The one is Atiti Devo Bhava, and Vidya Danam Sarva Pradhanam, Seva Parmodharam. These all are I'm reimagining. And there's some other. Is it okay, Farid?
Yeah, yes, it's
Okay.
fine.
So, even to realize what is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, reimagine, I need some kind of, supporting framework, how I can build this. So then I was looking at our own ancient scriptures, like Upanishads. Yeah, other, Sanskrit phrases. Then I, right now I choose a few, slokas. One is like, Vidya Danam Sarva Pradhanam, sharing knowledge with, people. And Seva Parmodharam, serving others is like highest thing. Yeah. And Vividhata Me Ekta, like, that's, unity in diversity is like one of the good example that how India holds different cultures, languages, diversity. And also Atiti Devo Bhava, like guest, how I reimagine like guest can bring a social change. How that's it. And Sat Samundar Par, like a digital conversation basically transcends geographical boundaries to build, connect, global, cultures. And Mitrasyaham Chaksusa Sarvani Bhutani Samikshe. So seeing all beings with the eyes of a friend.
Okay.
It's a very interesting concept, like how you look at everything from the perspective of friend. And also Yatra Naryastu Pujyante Ramante Tatra Devata. It's like, it conveys the idea that the well-being and success of a society directly tied to how it treats its women. So it's interesting, thing about for me, like how women can be treated that also affect the society. So these are the,
How do you think how one should treat a woman?
so we created a women spaces at Prayagilu.
Okay.
And also at Chai Stories we include, and SN Foundation is, that we have 20 people, I think 16 or 17 are female. So it's a female dominated, team. I always proud that I want to, be part of this kind of unique team. And it's a part-time volunteer team. It's changing, it's impacting, huge in the society, not in Indian society, but across the globe. And Chai Stories. So I'm seeing, different kind of, communities, including, the gender, caste, class, everybody. So, Prayagilu, we created a space where women can, easily access the space. In the morning, the rural women do yoga practice. It's a very unique
Very
thing.
unique,
It's
very
happening in
unique,
a rural
true.
places. And they're practicing. There are 3 women become a yoga teachers from the village. And they are the first people. So it's changing. And one of the example, it's very exciting for me that the woman who stopped her studies, after 10th class, then, after marriage, then her children right now in the colleges, it's like a 22 years. But she, because of this regular practice in yoga, then she got a lot of motivation to become a yoga teacher. But because of her qualifications, she could not. Then she came to know if she clears 12th, she is able to, complete the teacher training course or instructor course, yoga instructor course. Then she took that, challenge after 22 years.
After 22 years.
And she cleared the exams in 1 year, and now she is the first female yoga instructor in the village. It's amazing change, isn't it? That's how women are getting voice, how they're becoming a self-standing. And this slok, like Yatra Naryastu Pujyante Ramante Tatra Devata, where Prayagilu, reimagining the same, sloka, how we can respect women, how we can give the space for them to flourish. And there are the many examples we have at Prayagilu. So we're changing the,
the mindsets.
yeah. And another last one we have, I think, is a Annam yenati tasminto sminta karmani tyajit. It's like a food and ethical responsibility associated with it. So it's a food is also, it's a kind of, fostering community. So we do a lot of staple food, at Prayagilu. We cook them, and people come together and they cook and they share with each other. This is also interesting to think about nutrition, like, how the food connected with the health, and also at the same time how it fosters connections and build community. Yeah, they are the main guiding principles to reimagine Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
What do you think? What are the qualities that you have, and what are the strengths you have that you are reimagining so many things at the same time?
Because of my life, because the way my childhood gone, like in trauma, financial problems, social and cultural challenges, give me a opportunity to be creative in many ways. Every difficulty, despite financial and social, family, problems, always look for the opportunity. When I get a problem now, any disaster or any tragedy, I don't see as a problem, I next moment I will look for the solution. Okay, what can I do now? For example, when Proyaglu collapsed, I didn't get sad. Okay, what I can do the next? How this thing can be better in a moment. So then I converted as a Proyaglu. So over the time, my own life struggles, problems made me to think alternative all the time, be creative. That's the only way I can make my life interesting. And in this situation that, my art practices, my creative expression become very powerful tool to, think about communities, connecting communities, and being all the time reimagining new perspectives, building new perspectives. And what we have, I'm not doing anything new. Whatever we have, I'm just thinking culturally in new ways to build a better society.